Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. A loaded show for you guys today. We begin with the big NFL news, not Lamar Jackson, because, he's not coming to Dallas or maybe anywhere in the NFC. But the Giants have paid Daniel Jones, basically the Dak Prescott contract. A little bit less guaranteed money, to be fair. 4 years, $160 million. The Giants are now making the third best quarterback in the division one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the entire NFL. If you're glad the Giants have chosen to pay Daniel Jones, well, then like the video, because, I don't know, guy's never beaten Prescott. He's like 1-6 all-time against the Cowboys. The one win was a tanking game from Dallas, so I'm fine with that one. Thanks, Giants. Like the video right now. Let's move then to how this could potentially impact the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott making comments at some event he was at before the Giants ended up paying Daniel Jones, spoke about a possible contract extension, kind of agreed with what Stephen Jones, who had previously said, we'll wake up one day and it'll be done. Is that really what's going to happen? I'll believe it when I see it. That would be a pretty stark departure from the Cowboys' more typical MO of doing business. Here's what Dak had to say. I'm excited to be a Dallas Cowboy. I don't expect to play for any other team. Now it's just about winning. Looking forward to an extension. When that time comes, it'll happen. And he kind of says this next part laughing. I'm with Steven on it. It may just happen overnight. I'm not sure I really buy that because, again, that's not how the Cowboys tend to do business. But I will say this part, especially in light of the Daniel Jones contract and the other massive deals that are going to come. If you want Dak Prescott as your quarterback, get the deal done as soon as humanly possible. Because the longer you wait, the more money it's going to cost you. We know who Dak Prescott is. He's top 10 quarterback. He's certainly not the Mahomes level. And outside of maybe a couple quarterbacks in the NFL, he does need help to make that deal happen. The longer you wait, the more money you are going to have to end up paying him. And by the way, look, the Daniel Jones deal we'll make fun of because we don't think Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback. If he is, it's not that bad of a deal. The salary cap has jumped up $42 million since COVID came and went. Now, that was a bit of they had a dip year, which they didn't need to because they're being cheap, but the cap's going up here. The market is what it is for a top 10 quarterback. It's expensive. There's sticker shock. I understand all of that. But despite what Jerry might try to say publicly as having the scapegoat option, you can absolutely build your team around a quarterback. The Saints were like $90 million over the cap and then paid Derek Carr basically a similar contract to what Dak has, a little bit less per year. It is absolutely doable. You just have to be willing to be aggressive and actually put talent around your quarterback, which Cowboys got worse last year. We saw it rear its ugly head against the 49ers. So today's pinned comment, you want to extend Dak Prescott. Y for yes, N for no. We'll spend some more time on this here momentarily. In the meantime, get your votes in. Y or N at the pinned comment, especially if the ad break comes here on YouTube. Now, we've mentioned this before, but friend of the show, Bobby Belt, has suggested the number could come in around $46 million per year. And if you could actually get Dak at $46 million, even if it's 46.2, you should do that deal in a heartbeat. Because, remember, the market only goes up. Now, look, Aaron Rodgers' deal is a little bit wonky. The Mahomes deal is such an outlier, great team-friendly deal by Mahomes that you have to ignore it. But Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray are getting $46 million. And none of those guys have done anything in their careers, regular season or postseason, that is actually better than what Dak Prescott has done so far. And even if you make Dak, say $47 million right now, make him the number 3 highest paid quarterback in the NFL, he might not even last till week 1 of the season before he's no longer top 5. And then if you get ahead of it, well, when new guys like Allen and other quarterbacks are due for their deals, well, now you're back to where he is now, and he's not really hovering in that top 10 or in that top 5 range. He's barely cracking the top 10 list at this point. Joe Burrow's going to get 50. Herbert will. There's collusion around Lamar Jackson right now, as far as I'm concerned, but he's going to get big money, just maybe not fully guaranteed. And Jalen Hurts is a great argument to get paid, just like those quarterbacks, maybe a little bit less. So if you show urgency, get the deal done early. Don't worry about winning the deal. End result would actually be some pretty good things for you in terms of the money involved. Keep that cap hit low until he's not your guy anymore. Take a little 1-2 year rebuild, and then go find a new quarterback. That's a good philosophy if you want to actually be aggressive. Now, today's Cowboys Report is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. You can get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better. Got off on a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel prepared to take on my day. Once I have baby Olivia all set up with her breakfast, I make my own AG1. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning anymore, and I feel energized throughout the day. Plus, AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional bases for the day literally couldn't be any easier. That's why I trust Athletic Greens. I mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and then drink it first thing each morning. I'm done just like that, and I like that it costs less than $3 a day. That's a pretty good deal if you ask me. It's certainly cheaper than gross coffee. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients, making it the old win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. Links in the comments and the description of today's video. Dez Bryant at it again as he sent this tweet out this afternoon. And this is a Central Time tweet, by the way. Jalen Ramsey, heard the next stop is Big D. Eye emoji, Jalen to Dallas. And then Dez and DeAndre Hopkins were live streaming the other day. And Hopkins made the comment of, hey, I heard you guys mention my name around here. What's up? Talk to me. It's Dez doing Dez things, which I appreciate, by the way. I appreciate Dez Bryant to some level recruiting these players and hyping it up a little bit there. And as we've said before, I would love to get either Jalen Ramsey or DeAndre Hopkins, especially if you can keep your first-round pick. That fixes one of your massive needs. And I would hope the Cowboys at some level have done something background-wise to investigate those trades, because that's what good teams do. They hear whispers of people on the trade block. They figure out at least what the cost is. Cowboys don't always do that, and I have my severe doubts about this actually happening because it's just not what the Cowboys do. They made the splash trade for a receiver, so maybe Hopkins could be that guy, although both guys I think are going to be at least the second-round pick, probably more in terms of the trade package. I think the latest report was Cardinals want a pick and a player or a comp pick, so it's got to be a good player. You can't be throwing in boss man fat there, fellas. Ramsey's, maybe you're lucky it's 2 seconds. I would bet the 1 is a bit more likely from that standpoint, but the value is similar-ish. It's all fun, but they probably want new contracts, and that's just not the Jones boys' way. So what is the percent chance that whether it's Hopkins or Ramsey or somebody else big, that the Cowboys do something? The something big that was being worked on, not really true. Maybe that will change and they do get something done, but it wasn't like anything was imminent on that front. Get your answers in and make sure you're subscribed. The Cowboys offseason here. This is our second video of the day. The mock draft went out earlier. We're going to try to give you as many videos as we possibly can here. And the more subscribers we have, the better chance of us getting to do even more. And I got other stuff here at Chat Sports, not just Cowboys, but I can put that on the back burner. Sub right now for more free Cowboys videos. We'll wrap up today's show with some conversation on the latest Todd McShay mock draft and if the Cowboys could actually take a tight end, such as Dalton Kincaid out of Utah, in the first round of the 2023 NFL draft. Kincaid as a pass catcher, as a playmaking weapon at tight end, is probably your best bet. I think if you're looking at the big four, right, in terms of like how they rank as prospects, you can go back and forth on the order, but Kincaid's your best like seam stretcher, pass catcher option. Luke Musgrave's your best high-end athlete. Darnell Washington, who I'm a big fan of, is your best blocker and has untapped potential as a pass catcher. Michael Mayer's kind of your best typical inline balance of pass catching and blocking. Big fan of his game. I would not rule out Dallas going tight end in round 1, but picking at 26, it is dependent on what else happens, who's gone, who's left. So, do you want to draft a tight end in round 1? We're going to spend a lot more time on this. So vote D for draft or P for pass. In general, I don't really want a tight end in round 1. That's not even a knock or a comment of how great I think Ferguson Hendershot could be. I like those players. I think Kincaid's a good player. But the positional value of tight end in a loaded class is not how I want to build my draft. Now, there is a scenario, even for me personally, where a tight end could be the best player on my board. But if it's close between a tight end and, say, one of those corners, maybe it doesn't make as much sense. In this particular Todd McShay scenario, here were some of the top prospects gone. Your top edges, all gone. Top 4 receivers, so JSN, Addison, Johnston, and Zay Flowers, gone. Top 5 corners, Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Deontay Banks, and Emmanuel Forbes, all gone. Other notable players, Bijan Robinson, Michael Mayer gone, no Nolan Smith. The top guys left beyond tight end Dalton Kincaid were Osiris Torrance, Brian Branch, Elijah Cansey, Drew Sanders, Jalen Hyatt. In that scenario, Kincaid would be one of the 3 best guys on my board, so I couldn't be that mad at it, I suppose. I'd also rather take Brian Branch because I love him, or I think Osiris Torrance. The Cowboys draft line ends up being good results, and it's I would argue, a more impactful position long-term there. So that's my mindset in terms of the draft prospects, the angling of who was there. I think I'd go someone else than Kincaid. What would you guys do? Who do you want the Cowboys to draft in round 1? We're going to get some more thoughts here on tight end options in general, but sound off in the comments section. My boy John Machota, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I had a nice, fun conversation with him at the Combine. Johnny Matches, of The Athletic, of drafting a tight end. And I think he's right on this front in terms of what he heard at the Combine, because, you hear similar things when you're both there. Drafting a tight end as early as pick 26 is more in play now than I thought when I left for Indianapolis. I still feel like cornerback is the most likely position addressed at number 26, but tight end is definitely in play. Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot are good young players, but they won't prevent Dallas from adding another talented youngster to the group, especially if that tight end is the best player available. The Cowboys want a playmaker. And there could be a scenario where, the receivers are gone, tight end's our best offensive player on the board, let's take him. That is a real option. And this was not just a Todd McShay mock draft that had Kincaid, by the way. Dane Brugler had one as well. The current Cowboys looking for playmakers on offense, and Kincaid offers a unique profile. He could give Dak Prescott quick wins like the aforementioned Schultz, while also providing more explosive potential with his seam and run after the catch skills. I think that quick wins thing is important, by the way. I fully expect a quicker passing game this year for the Dallas Cowboys. The 10-yard hitches, I think, will be phased away. I think more stuff like slants and slant flats will help replace it there in a more typical West Coast design of your offense. It's typically based upon the short passing game helps replace the running game. If that ends up being the case, which I think it's going to be, tight end does make a little bit more sense, but it's a great draft class there. I would rather wait on the tight end position.